In life, we always have choices. But what if some choices are not up to us? What if some of our choices need some encouragement because we do not know which choice is the best? All across the nation, kids play sports. My brother is the second of 6 kids born to his biological mother. All are now ward of the state or have been adopted. John's mother neglected her children, which caused him not to develop as well socially and mentally. John was abused by his mother's boyfriends frequently. A social worker found that her boyfriends would lock him in a closet for hours, beginning at the age of 1. To this day, John cannot be in a room by himself. When John was 3.5, he was placed in foster care. John never fit into his foster home and had problems behaving. At the age of 7, he was institutionalized for the first time. His foster mother felt he had behavioral problems that only an institution could handle. Later that year, John began to live with my family.
The whole situation was extremely traumatic for him. One, being in wherever he was, and 2, being separated from his siblings. When he came to us, he was extremely fearful. I think most of his behaviors at that point were definitely fear-based.
John at times can be difficult, and if you have a short fuse or are not used to how he acts, he is hard to handle.
He would have temper tantrums, huge ones, just provoked basically by nothing, to the point where he would get physically aggressive and violent and would have to be just cradled and held for long, long periods of time just to calm him down.
The abuse and neglect had a profound effect on my brother, especially in school. To add to John's grief, he also has an IEP. An IEP defines the individualized objectives of a child who has been found with a disability as defined by federal regulations. The IEP is intended to help children reach educational goals more easily than they otherwise would. In all cases, the IEP must be tailored to the individual student's needs as identified by the IEP evaluation process and must especially help teachers and related service providers, such as paraprofessional educators, understand the student's disability and how the disability affects the learning process, which in essence means his work has to be modified due to the fact that he cannot perform at grade level. As was said before, the abuse John has suffered shows up in school. He often repeated things my dad said to my mother or us kids. He would at times become violent at school like my dad.
And by her telling me that he had mouthed off and cussed at her home, it allowed me a little leverage with him when he acted out of place. And I asked him about it. He had to be there. It was classic. And, I'm like, you're the kind of guy who probably cuss at your mom, don't you, John? He's like, tears are rolling now.
Aww.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And I'm there thinking, man, this kid, I can't meet him. I really have a heart for him. And I'm like, that men don't do that, John. You cannot do that anymore. You understand?
All in all, my brother was the definition of a bad statistic. Then something profound happened.
He was a part of a team, and he took a lot of the grief that the whole team took, and he was expected to behave a certain way, and he did. His behavior got better, so.
Do you like school?
Mm-hmm.
You getting along better with your teachers? You making some friends?
Yep.
So did you really like football?
Yep.
What about Mr. Snyder? What do you think of him?
He's awesome.
He's awesome? I heard he had to make you run one time, though.
Yep.
What'd you do?
Made a play wrong.
You made a play wrong. Well, why else did you have to run?
That's all.
You never made him mad?
Nope.
Yes, you did. He told me.
Football was a great experience for him. John does so much better with strong male support. He really liked the structure and I think the coaching staff did a great job with him.
From the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry is the following information. According to this academy, sports helps children mentally as well as physically. It gives them emotional support and positive feedback. It also teaches them how to handle disappointment because you may not win all the time or get what you want in life.
And you know, one thing about him that I try to do is tie everything. I do that with those kids I coach, is tie the football discipline with life discipline. You know, you don't get to go until the ball's snapped, because we work as a team. If you go, you indicate that you're more important than the other 10 guys. In a world that doesn't function that way.
A new study from Tel Aviv University suggests sports participation can improve a child's cognitive, emotional, and behavioral well-being every bit as much as his or her physical fitness. Karen Shahar, a PhD student at Tel Aviv University, said that over the course of her study, which included 649 children from low socioeconomic backgrounds, a continuous program of various sports helped improve self-control and discipline and lowered feelings of aggression in children overall. Find something that motivates them, she said. A strong connection with any activity gives children a sense of purpose and decreases the likelihood that they will act out their behavioral problems.
He has been a real struggle, and when we first got him, I thought, oh no, I don't know what we can do to help this kid, but really, you know, it's been almost about 7 years we've had him, and he's just, you know, he's got a long way to go, but boy, from where we came from, it's just been an amazing transformation, I have to say.
John has grown since being in football. He once was a scared little boy, angry at the world. Although he's still far from perfect, John is no longer the person he used to be. John is stronger and just all around better. This could have been you, or your brother, your sister, or maybe one day even your child. Improve the future. Get involved.